President Biden has made a critical decision in the war between Ukraine and Russia. He has authorized the transfer of long-range Army tactical missile systems, or ATACMS, to Ukraine. These missiles, with a range of up to 190 miles, have the capability to strike deep within Russian territory. This decision marks a significant escalation in US military support for Ukraine. Until now, the Biden administration had refrained from providing ATACMS due to concerns about provoking Russia. The decision comes as Ukraine faces intensified Russian attacks. These attacks include the deployment of troops from North Korea, a staunch ally of Moscow. The Biden administration aims to bolster Ukraine's defenses with these missiles. The hope is to give Ukrainian forces a tactical advantage on the battlefield. The move could potentially strengthen Ukraine's position in any future negotiations with Russia. This decision has been met with mixed reactions. Some applaud Biden's commitment to supporting Ukraine's right to defend itself. Others fear it could lead to a dangerous escalation of the conflict. This decision is a pivotal moment in the war, with far-reaching implications for both sides.
The provision of ATACMS missiles to Ukraine offers potential military advantages. These weapons could disrupt Russian supply lines, which are crucial for sustaining their military operations. Ukraine could also target Russian command and control centers, hampering their ability to coordinate attacks. This could shift the balance of power on the battlefield in Ukraine's favor.
However, the risks of escalation are substantial. Russia has repeatedly warned of serious consequences if Ukraine uses Western-supplied weapons to strike targets within Russia's borders. The Kremlin views the provision of ATACMS as a direct threat to its security and a provocation by the United States.
This move could lead to retaliatory strikes by Russia against Ukrainian infrastructure, or even NATO countries providing support. The Biden administration is taking a calculated risk. The potential benefits of bolstering Ukraine's defenses must be weighed against the dangers of escalating the conflict into a wider war.
Russia's response to the US decision has been swift and multifaceted. The Kremlin has condemned the move as a reckless escalation and a dangerous interference in what it considers an internal matter.
Russian state media has been awash with inflammatory rhetoric, accusing the United States of using Ukraine as a proxy to weaken Russia. Moscow has also taken concrete actions to signal its displeasure. Russia has conducted large-scale military exercises, including simulated nuclear launches. This is widely seen as a reminder of Russia's nuclear capabilities and a warning to the West.
Furthermore, Russia has intensified its attacks on Ukrainian infrastructure, targeting critical energy facilities as winter approaches. This is a deliberate tactic to inflict suffering on the Ukrainian population and undermine morale. The Kremlin's response is a clear indication that it views the provision of ATACMS as a serious threat. Section 4. A World on Edge: International Reactions and the Spectre of Trump's Return. The international community is closely watching the unfolding events with a mixture of concern and apprehension.
NATO allies have largely expressed support for Ukraine's right to defend itself. However, some have voiced reservations about the wisdom of providing long-range missiles. They fear that this could provoke Russia and lead to a wider conflict that could engulf Europe.
The potential return of Donald Trump to the White House adds another layer of complexity. Trump has repeatedly praised Putin and criticized US support for Ukraine. This raises concerns that he might adopt a more conciliatory approach towards Russia if elected, potentially undermining Western efforts to support Ukraine.
The global implications of the conflict are far-reaching. The war has already disrupted energy markets, exacerbated food shortages, and fueled a humanitarian crisis in Europe. The provision of ATACMS missiles raises the stakes even higher, with the potential to draw other countries into the conflict. Section 5. High stakes, diplomacy, averting disaster, and the uncertain path forward. The situation in Ukraine is extremely volatile, with the potential for miscalculation and escalation. It is crucial for all parties to engage in diplomacy to prevent the conflict from spiraling out of control.
Dialogue and negotiations are essential to finding a peaceful resolution. International pressure must be maintained on Russia to de-escalate the situation and respect Ukraine's sovereignty. The United States and its allies should continue to provide Ukraine with the means to defend itself. However, this support must be carefully calibrated to avoid provoking Russia.
The path forward is uncertain. The decisions made in the coming weeks and months will have profound consequences for Ukraine, Russia, and the wider world. The stakes are incredibly high.